1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madavela and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The Ministry of Public Administration informs all state institutions to conduct an official New Year event with the participation of all the employees tomorrow. Religious ceremonies will be held throughout the island to mark the New Year. A special traffic plan is scheduled to be implemented in Colombo today in view of the dawn of the New Year. Health authorities request the general public to pay attention to minimize accidents during the New Year's Eve. A new egg shipment to arrive today. 10,000 houses for low-income families in Colombo. In foreign news, North Korea says it will launch 3 new spy satellites in 2024. In sports news, a top Indian wrestler Vinesh Phogat returns medals over alleged sexual abuse. The Ministry of Public Administration informs all state institutions to conduct an official event with the participation of all the employees tomorrow as activities of the New Year will commence tomorrow. The Secretary of the Ministry of Public Administration made this request today, issuing a circular. The main official event will be held at 9 a.m. tomorrow at the Presidential Secretariat under the patronage of the President Ranil Wickremesinghe. People throughout the island are now getting ready to welcome the New Year. Many religious places are full of devotees to receive blessings for the New Year. An all-night Pirit chanting ceremony to invoke blessings for the New Year 2024 for the country and the people will be held at the historic Jayashree Mahabodhya premises. It will be broadcast through the Sinhala National and Rajarata services of the SLBC from 9:30 p.m. today. Another all-night Pirit chanting ceremony will be held at the Kataragama Kirivehera premises today. It has been organised by the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. The Chief of the Training of Nurses Training of National Hospital in Colombo, Pushpa Ramyani Soisa, requests the general public to pay attention to minimize accidents today. It is important to avoid road traffic accidents and accidents while using firecrackers and household activities. She said that a significant number of people will be admitted to the hospitals at the last day of the year every year due to various accidents. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. A special traffic plan is scheduled to be implemented in Colombo today in view of the dawn of the New Year. Accordingly, several roads, including a section of Gaul Road, Janadipati Mawata, the Bank of Ceylon Mawata, Lotus Road and Navam Mawata will be made one-way from 5 p.m. today this New Year's Eve. The police spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua says that opposite lanes will be open from the Kollupitia junction to the Golface roundabout, while the lanes from the Golface roundabout to the Galadari roundabout will be one-way. Parking lots have also been allocated at public vehicle parking lots. SSP Taldua also called upon motorists to inform an officer on duty if they encounter any problem. The Sri Lanka State Trading Corporation said a shipment of another stock of 6 million eggs will arrive from India today. The corporation's chairman R. Sirivalisundara said this new stock of eggs will be released to the Sathas outlets countrywide for retail sales. Meanwhile, the All Island Egg Producers Association's president Saraswat Naika said they would be able to sell eggs at a price between 30 and 35 rupees each in the local market during the next few months, and the new VAT will not affect the prices. The price of eggs in the local market went up to around 65 rupees each. It was less than 50 rupees at the economic centres during the past week, and it will be less than 45 rupees now. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Prasanna Ranatunga, says that 10,000 houses are expected to be built around Colombo in the year 2024 for people including low-income families. The Minister mentioned that nearly 6,500 of these houses will be used to resettle the low-income people living in Colombo. It is reported that 6 out of 11 housing projects which have been planned for this are being implemented with the assistance of the government of China. Ranatunga further indicated that 14,611 housing units have been constructed under the Colombo Urban Regeneration Project and 11,269 families have been resettled so far. The Sri Lanka Automobile Association says that more than 250 applications are being received daily to obtain international driving licenses. The chairman of the association, Dhammika Atigala, says that the Sri Lanka Automobile Association is the only institute in Sri Lanka to issue international driving licenses. The association charges 16,500 rupees to issue an international driving license. The managing director of the association, Devapriya Hettiarachchi, said that the license is valid for 160 countries. He said that details regarding their services could be obtained by dialing 0117 555 557. Once again, 0117 555 557.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
The central bank governor, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, said that any government could renegotiate the program with the International Monetary Fund, but it would be required to follow the path chosen currently to get international support. Addressing a press conference recently, he said, if the chosen path is broken, no support will be forthcoming internationally. The IMF program began on the 1st of September last year. After dispersing the first tranche, it's again negotiated that our commitments are before dispersing the next tranche, so it will be a continuous process of renegotiation to change policies in a timely manner, whatever the government is in power for the next 4 years. There are no restrictions for this, but the key element is we need to move forward with the program in order to obtain international support, he said.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
The All Ceylon Bakery Owners Association said cake sales in the local market has dropped to 25% during the festive season due to a lack of eggs for making cakes. The association's chairman N.K. Jayawardena said that although they had hoped for at least 50% of the usual sale of cakes, it had dropped to 25%.
Coming up, World News.
North Korea says it will launch 3 new spy satellites in 2024. A UN peacekeeping mission in Mali ends after decade. Venice to ban large tourist groups and loudspeakers. North Korea plans to launch 3 more spy satellites next year as part of efforts to ramp up its military, the country's state media has said. Last month, Pyongyang put a spy satellite into space and claims it has since photographed major US and South Korean military sites. Setting out his aims for 2024, Kim Jong-un also said his dealings with South Korea would see fundamental change. And he said he had no option but to press ahead with his nuclear ambitions. Speaking at an end-of-year meeting of the ruling Workers' Party of Korea, Mr. Kim said unification with South Korea was now no longer possible. He said Seoul treats his country as an enemy. It appears to be the first time Mr. Kim has said such a thing and marks an official change in policy, although in practice there has been little prospect of unification for some years, with no progress and little effort being made. Relations between the two countries are in a poor state. Last month, following the spy satellite launch, Pyongyang ripped up a deal with Seoul that was aimed at lowering military tensions. UN peacekeepers are finishing their withdrawal from Mali on Sunday after a long-running mission lasting a decade. MINUSMA, the multidimensional integrated stabilization mission, began in 2013 after an armed rebellion but has been asked to leave by the country's ruling military government. The UN mission's head said it did a lot but fell below expectations. With some 310 peacekeepers killed, MINUSMA was the UN's second deadliest mission worldwide after Lebanon. In the summer, Mali told the UN that its 12,000 peacemakers needed to leave, and the UN Security Council voted to withdraw the mission. UN staff have been leaving in stages for months with a deadline of 31st of December for full withdrawal. Venice is to ban loudspeakers and tourist groups of more than 25 people in a bid to ease the impact of mass tourism in the Italian city. The new rules will come into effect by June, the city said in a statement. The use of loudspeakers have been banned as they can generate confusion and disturbances, it added. Over-tourism is widely recognized as an urgent issue for the Canal City, one of the most visited places in Europe. In September, the issue and Venice approved the trial of a €5 fee for daily visitors. Elisabetta Pesce, the official with responsibility for the city's security, said the latest policies are aimed at improving the management of groups organized in the historic center. The city is just 7.6 square kilometers in size, but it hosted almost 13 million tourists in 2019, according to the Italian National Statistics Institute. Numbers of visitors are expected to exceed pre-pandemic levels in the coming years. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. North Korea says it will launch 3 new spy satellites in 2024. A UN peacekeeping mission in Mali ends after a decade. Venice to ban large tourist groups and loudspeakers.
Development News.
Tourism Minister Harin Fernando said in a post on social media platform X that Sri Lanka has seen more than 200,000 tourist arrivals in the month of December alone. He noted that this is the highest number of monthly tourist arrivals in the country and has recorded over the past 4 years. Figures in the weekly summary report published earlier by Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority mentioned that 1,476,951 tourists have visited the island between the 1st and the 28th of December. As such, the total number of tourist arrivals in Sri Lanka has been registered between the 1st of January and the 28th of December, currently standing close to 1.5 million. At 1.4, that's 1,406,556. The tourism minister said the original target the government had set in January was to reach 1.5 million tourist arrivals by the end of 2023. Sri Lanka saw only 719,978 tourist arrivals in the year 2022.
Moving on with sports news.
A top wrestler in India has returned two of her medals to highlight alleged sexual harassment of female athletes. Vinesh Phogat, one of India's most decorated women wrestlers, left the prestigious awards on a roadside curb after she was refused permission to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She and several wrestlers accused former Wrestling Federation of India Chief Briji Bhushan Singh of sexually harassing women wrestlers for years. Mr. Singh denies allegations. Ms. Phogat announced this week that she was returning the Khel Ratna Award, the country's highest sporting honour, which she received in 2020 along with the Arjuna Award, both which are given by the government. She had planned to deliver her awards to Mr. Modi but was blocked by the police.
On the first day of the new year 2024, when you make your first deposit in any SPE, you will receive a token gift. May this new year bring you happiness, joy and abundance of savings. National Savings Bank.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Today is the last day of the Colombo Shopping Carnival 2023. The last major trade fair of the year was commenced at the BMICH on the 28th and will continue till this evening. New Year essentials including textiles, gifts, electrical appliances, furniture, footwear and beauty products are available at huge discounts.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
On the first day of the new year 2024, when you make your first deposit in any SPE, you will receive a token gift. May this new year bring you happiness, joy and abundance of savings. National Savings Bank.
And now in economic news.
The new Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, affirmed the Indian government's unwavering support for the advancement of the maritime and aviation sectors as well as the development of the northern region of Sri Lanka. He made these observations during a meeting held recently with the Minister of Ports, Shipping and Aviation, Nimal Siddipal De Silva. The discussions at the ministry also focused on the progress of the Palali Airport, along with the ports in Kankasanthare, Talaimannar and Trincomalee. Minister De Silva emphasized the government's willingness to provide opportunities for Indian investors to engage in the maritime and aviation services sectors in Sri Lanka.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the east and Nuva provinces and in the Purannavar, Matale, Nuvareli and Hambantota district. Fairly heavy showers above 75 mm are likely at some places. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern province and in the Anuradhapura and Kandy districts. Showers or thundershowers may occur at several places elsewhere of the island after 2 p.m. Fairly strong winds about 30 to 40 km per hour can be expected at times in the east and slopes of central hills and northern, north central, northwest and eastern Nuva and southern provinces. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabaragama western and central provinces during the morning. That was with the report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The Ministry of Public Administration informs all state institutions to conduct an official New Year event with the participation of all the employees tomorrow. Religious ceremonies will be held throughout the island to mark the New Year. A special traffic plan is scheduled to be implemented in Colombo today in view of the dawn of the New Year. Health authorities request the general public to pay attention to minimize accidents during New Year's Eve. A new egg shipment to arrive today. 10,000 houses for low-income families in Colombo. In foreign news, North Korea says it will launch 3 new spy satellites in 2024. In sports news, top Indian wrestler Vinesh Phogat returns medals over alleged sexual abuse. That concludes this news broadcast, and well, it's back to Lavani Vijayatunga on the other side, surprise, surprise, this Sunday afternoon to keep you in great company. Over to you, Lavani.